Hey guys, it's No. The other day I was playing Lilia in ARAM, and don't mind my scoreline, I'm not the best Lilia player and I've been trying to pick her up more to get better at her. But beside the point, you can see on the enemy team that there was a Fizz. And during this game, this Fizz was being so annoying and he was building tank items like Heartsteel and other health related items. And then at the end of the game, when I looked at the graph, I did not expect that he would deal the highest damage on the enemy team. And you've probably experienced this quite a bit with melee mages such as Fizz or Diana, maybe Echo, building Heartsteel and ARAM and building a tank style AP build. And so after this game, I was very annoyed because during that Lilia game, I was going full damage and my items were, were against tanks such as my Leandries. I think I was building towards armor pen as well. But this Fizz was just too easy to get away with and he had a lot of health. And in my next ARAM game, I saw Fizz was available. And the thought that crossed my mind was, if you can't beat them, join them. In this game, I picked up Fizz, and I saw that the person on the enemy team in my previous game went Electrocute, but I felt like that for a sustain, tank style build, that the Grasp would be slightly better, especially with, Fizz being able to get close to enemies to use Grasp. And so I went with the Grasp build, and I'm not sure what the best, tank AP melee build is, but the build I went, I think it worked really well, and I somehow managed to stack 1000 bonus health from Heartsteel, and this game kind of opened a can of worms for me, going tank AP on melee mages. Just before we get into the game, here's the runes that I went if you'd like to note them down. Without further ado, let's jump into this Tank Fizz game and see what happens. So to start off this game, we're rushing Heartsteel, so we're buying Giant's Belt and a Ruby Crystal just to get to Heartsteel as quickly as we can to start stacking that extra health. And there I was just trying to learn Fizz's abilities because the only reason why I've picked Fizz up in this game was because of what happened last game, which I described earlier to you guys. And here I jump over with my E and dive into the enemy. But yeah, with this gameplay you'll see that I'm not the best Fizz player. However, despite being so average, you'll see like how easy this build is. We get the kill onto the Lux there and we go down, fortunately. Let me know if you guys play this tank melee style AP type build, and let me know what you guys build and what runes to go, and what champs you think it works the best with. So I've also seen Akali players, but it's just mainly Akali, Fizz and Diana that I see this build on. So here we're looking for an engage onto the Lux in the corner, and we dodge out on Lux's Q and we take her down with E, and we jump over to Anivia, and the Grasp is already proccing quite a few times. We take the portal and we jump out. But yeah, with Fizz you can be really annoying. You know, you can dash in with your snowball, you can E to dodge any abilities, and then you can use a minion or another champion to Q out of the way. And just save your E for when, you know, when the enemies have skill shots, or just dodge them like I did before. So Morgana's pinging to the health relic. I'm letting her know that I'm on the way, and she pinged that the next one is up. We land the snowball onto Lux. I tried to take it to dodge her ultimate. Not sure if we did or not. And LeBlanc's passive is procced. That's definitely her clone. Here I'm really close to 6. I'm getting the plant mainly for the shield. Then we E there, but LeBlanc goes away. So at the moment I'm quite low on health and mana, and I didn't realize this because like I said, I don't play Fizz much, but you definitely need a lot of mana, whether you go mana flow or prison's bemoan, but I didn't go any of those runes in this game. And then so I thought that a good idea would be to go tier and then build that into Fimbulwinter, because with Fizz's E, if you hold on to it, you slow the enemies, which gives you a shield from Fimbulwinter. So here you can see that I've completed Heartsteel, and we've got that tier stacking away. Haven't got any stacks yet, and we dodge LeBlanc's the damage portion with my E, but we can't dodge the root, which happens after I jump out of my E. Anivia flashes in. I don't think I can punish, and we back away slowly. We land our ultimate onto the Graves. We unfortunately get taken out as well, but he goes down as well. Here we're building towards Unending Despair, which basically is a really good tank and sustain item that deals magic damage after, I think it's like every 4 seconds or something like that. And in hindsight, I would definitely build magic pen boots because it works with the Unending Despair. There we get rooted by Hui's, one of Hui's abilities. So there we see Rumble going in. I land the ult onto Lux, land the snowball as well. We Q in, E to dodge the tower reset. Trying to get another Heartsteel onto Graves. Unfortunately we get taken out before we can. And here we're lining up the cannon to deal damage. We kill Graves actually with our landing damage, and we also knock up the Anivia. We get the kill onto LeBlanc, who was trying to duke out, you know, what her real clone was. And here we're just waiting for Hui to step up, but he does not. There we land the ult, the biggest ult onto Graves, follow that up, and you'll see that when we go into our E, we let go of the tower aggro. At the moment the enemy team is winning, they're up 29 kills to our 21, and we're slowly stacking the Heartsteel. There we get the proc onto the Graves. And And here you can see me just waiting around the plant, because you can see that it helps my ultimate cooldown go down. And I think that's a trick that not a lot of people know, is that it doesn't give you bonus health, it gives you a shield, but that deteriorates over time. But most importantly is that it lowers your ultimate cooldown. Here LeBlanc jumps in, and I get CC'd before I can E out of it. So here we're going back into battle. Lucian, I think he gets taken out. Jumping in just to cover some distance. Me and Poppy are just being absolutely annoying. Land the ultimate onto the Hui, and I try and just stack my Heartsteel procs, because we can't do sustained damage against Graves and those other champs. So there Morgana's back shield came in handy. I didn't think that the root would reach. And there we dodge Lux's root with our jump. And that was a really nice root binding by Morgana, followed up by Lucian's ultimate. And we're currently in a bit of a stalemate at the moment. And here you can see me waiting around again, just to try and decrease my ult cooldown so I can use it sooner. But yeah, if you guys build, tank, AP on these champs like Fizz or Diana, let me know if I'm going the right build and what you guys recommend. So we land the ultimate onto Anivia, and as expected, because we are building more tank, we don't do a lot of damage. The Rumble ultimate was really big there. We kill Graves there with our Heartsteel proc. Actually, Rumble got the kill for that. And here we are all dead apart from me, so I'm just trying to stay alive so that they don't take our tower. So I can see that they're going for the turret, so I'm just trying to put them off it, flashing in, just so they don't hit the tower. I'd rather take the death there than them getting the tower. And we managed to hold out our tower for now. And we got a few Heartsteel stacks in the process. So there we're trying to land the cannon onto Graves, but we don't manage to do so, and I think we go down here. So that was quite a silly cannonball, and as you can see that it takes a long time actually for you to land when your outer turrets are still intact. We take the snowball there, use our E to dodge any abilities, and just get our 2 Heartsteel stacks, and we back away. And there we get our grasp stack and back away again with our E. And as you can see, I'm just weaving in and out, and that's just because we don't have a lot of sustained damage. There I was aiming onto Lux, but we hit it onto Graves. Here we dodge out on Hui's abilities. I was trying to Q to the minion, but the minion dies, and we look like an idiot just standing there. Even at the inner turret, you can see how easy it is for enemies to dodge, so definitely a good idea for Riot to update the speed and diameter in this current patch. And there we know we're going to die, so just trying to get as many Heartsteel stacks as we can, flashing for Lux. I thought we were going to take it out, unfortunately we do not, but we're currently at 250 stacks, which is really good, or like 250 bonus health. But yeah, the enemies definitely have an advantage over us. 58 to 33 kills. We land a big ultimate on Hui, who just somehow has infinite shields with Lux and his pull. We dive in with our Q, trying to get the kill onto the Hui, which we do. Unfortunately, we get taken down as well. And as you could see there was a big heal, and that was from the Unending Despair. And there, I think Lux panicked, which is really funny, seeing her ult backwards, and we just keep chasing these enemies. And sorry for mentioning, but we have built Winter. We completed the item, which you can see that we'll get shields from our delayed E and ultimate, and also Unending Despair, which I think I explained that before, where you can heal and deal magic damage every 4 seconds. And because the enemies are so AP heavy, I also built an Abyssal Mask so that our team does more magic damage and it provides some MR. And I think we're looking to build Warmogs next. So there's LeBlanc is just looking for a snipe. Dodge Olivia's stun with my E, however Lux waited until that was over and then rooted me with her Q, which was really well played. And unfortunately our team members get taken out there. I'm jumping in for the heal, and I unfortunately walk straight into Graves' cannon. So there we land a massive knock up onto 2 enemies there. And you'll realize that once enemies have destroyed your Nexus and are closer to your Nexus turrets, it's a lot easier to land the damage and land the knock up onto enemies from the cannon launcher. So here we're chasing, which is good, but we should be pushing the minion wave, and as you can see the minion wave is still in the middle of the map. And here I'm realizing question mark ping, because that should be our priority, because even if we were chasing, we wouldn't be able to deal any damage to the turrets if our minion wave is not there. So at the moment, just looking to find moments to engage and back out, be annoying, deal some poke. Yeah, I was looking at the range. I know that we need to take out Graves because he's the only one that does any AD damage, and I have a lot of MR for the other champions. We go back in with E, and you can just see how obnoxious Tank Fizz is and just how much damage he can deal, and we take out Olivia. And this is me not even building Riftmaker, which is something that I would definitely change next time around, where you get AP depending on your bonus health. We looked for Hui, didn't realize that LeBlanc was there, and as you can see we're still surviving. Land the snowball onto Hui, dodge the fear, and we get an outplay. Really nice actually, didn't realize that I would survive there. But yeah, you can just see from all the different sources of healing, from Grasp, from Unending Despair, the shields from Winter, can all be very obnoxious. So potentially in the resolve tree you could even go for the one where it buffs your heal and shields. And now I've completed Warmogs. So once you've done that, you can look to be really annoying, go into the enemy, go into enemy backline, frontline, deal some damage, and jump out, because their health won't heal over time unless, I guess, people who also are building Warmogs or lifesteal. But for most AP mages on their team, they can't regain their health back, which gives you that advantage. So here I'm playing my Warmogs, knowing that I can regenerate the health lost. And the enemy team comp is also very obnoxious with Lux, Hui, Tank Killer, they've got Graves, Olivia. Here we land the ultimate on to Lux, she flashes away, knocking up Olivia also. And here we're just going to the back line, getting our Heartsteel procs, dodging out on enemies' abilities with our E. And Fizz has really high base damage and also the damage from Unending Despair, and we can just chase the enemies down. So here Olivia flashes, and I see the Heartsteel proc come back up, so I go in for Graves, Graves takes out my team. I Q into Anivia's Q, unfortunately. Nothing I can do about that. Here I try to hop out. We get the heart steal onto Anivia. We get her egg, but unfortunately we get taken down. But it's good that we got her egg there, despite her, just going back to full health. It's still something good to get out of the way for now. And there I was looking for a cannonball onto the enemies, but as the time was running out, there was no suitable place. Yeah, I just take my snowball, dip in, dip out. Because of my warmogs, I know I need to target Graves because he's the only AD damage dealer. So as long as my team has taken him down, it's a lot easier for me to get onto the other enemies. And despite all that CC, I've got Merc Treads and take the cling from that Heartsteel and looking for the next Heartsteel proc. So here we're just running them down, land a snowball onto Hui. There we can see that Lux is flashing. And you can see a lot of damage that I'm dealing despite not really building any damage items. And there we're looking to take down the Lux. And we take down Lux and we take down Hui as well. And there the turret is killing me and I just dodge out of that. Because I know that my Warmogs can heal me back to full again. And with the with building Fimbulwinter, you can see how my health management is a lot better. So there I go back in just to help my team kill off Graves. But yeah, with Fimbulwinter you can see the mana management is better. And once you've reached full build, you can go for the blue pot, which gives you mana regen as well. So definitely like a good substitute if you're not wanting to go for any mana stacking runes or mana regen runes. There we get another Heartsteel proc already at 740. I think I get taken out there. I should have probably backed away and allowed my Warmogs to regen me back to full. Should have just been a little bit more patient there. So yeah, enemies currently up nearly 30 kills. I'm just looking to go in just to allow our team to push the minion wave a bit further, and any damage I deal I'll just wait to heal back with Warmogs. But yeah, Tank Fizz is a really fun build. I'll probably do the same with Akali, Diana in the future. I feel like you just do a lot of damage. Here we're looking for a shark onto Graves. We land it, and unfortunately we get CC'd, and I'm just running away because I soaked up all that damage, and now I'm just letting my Heartsteel regenerate. Hopefully my teammates can do some damage. So there I'm taking the plant for my ultimate. No one's taking it, so I just take the last little bit. And here I've built the I've swapped out my Merc Treads for the magic resist item, Force of Nature. You don't really see a lot of people building this in Summoner's Rift, but in ARAM it's really good, especially when the enemy's got a lot of poke, and it stacks up really nicely, giving you bonus movement speed and magic resist. And as you can see, the only person really dealing damage to me is the Graves. So we just need to make sure that hopefully my team can take the Graves down, or we try to take down the Graves first, and then we focus on the other champs. So here I'm just going around the plant, getting the stacks, and I don't know why the enemy's ignoring me. I'm with my ult, unfortunately, and now I know that Graves is here. Land my snowball onto him, the resurrect onto the Anivia. I take the Q through the minion and I kill the Hui, but unfortunately I get taken down by LeBlanc. There we land another nice knock up onto the enemies, and as you can see, when you're closer it's a lot easier. There, I don't know why Lucian just flashed him like that. Maybe he was feeling spicy, but anyway, we chased the enemies. And they've just got some massive shields, just waiting for it to run out, just using our E to chase up onto the Anivia. I get exhausted, and they manage to run away, and that's fine. Because they don't have Warmugs, but I do. So, just gonna wait for my Warmugs to heal me up. In fact, I go back in, slashing for the Heartsteel proc, killing off Anivia, and we get out of there. LeBlanc gets in there, unfortunate, otherwise I could have regen back to full. And here I buy the anti-crit item, the Red Joins, because the main person killing me is always Graves and dealing the most damage. It's Graves in most team fights, and I also have Jack Show for more sustained abilities, for more sustained resistances, and I also went, I think it's Unending, where you get bonus magic resist and armor. So there we go in. Hopefully my teammates can deal a lot of damage to the Graves. And there, Poppy does really well at absorbing damage, and I think that Poppy also built the Warmogs, so they should regen back to full as well. But yeah, as you can see with Graves, the damage we do, he can just regen that back up. But with the mages, they don't really build regen items, health regen items. So Morgana gets taken out there, so now we just need to back away, protect the Nexus. So there we land the snowball onto LeBlanc, so we're going in just to kind of distract the enemy, because we would lose the fight, and I think our Nexus is exposed there. So there, you know, I'm just running away, trying to kite as many enemies as I can, and I think they figured that out, so they're just running away. We land the Shark onto the Lux there, and now we're just going against all the enemies. We dodge out of that. Hopefully we survive, and we eat out of there just in time, and our Nexus remains alive. So we saved the game there, in my opinion, by, you know, distracting the enemies. And here I'm just letting my Warmogs heal me up, and just looking for a moment to engage if need be, otherwise just letting my Warmogs heal up slowly. And now the targeting time is going out, so I go to the corner. We land it onto the Lux. Somehow she manages to get her Rune Prison off. Poppy does a nice chain CC onto Graves, and we're just trying to kill the Graves, which we do. So as you can see, very back and forth game. I feel like the enemy is constantly up over kills, but you can just see how much damage and how annoying Tank Fizz is, despite not really building many damage items. And at 8,000 health, if you bought the Rift Maker, you'll get 160 AP for free. And also at 1000 extra health stacks from Heartsteel. And now hopefully we can make our way towards enemy base, but with them all respawning seems quite difficult. And Anivia just walling all of us off with that constant mage poke, Lux Q, Anivia stun. So there I get the flower for my ultimate, and I'm pinging to let my team know that I'm trying to not be selfish because I see all their ultimate abilities are up. We don't land our snowball, otherwise we would have taken it. And there Poppy lands a nice ult, making it a 4v5. Unfortunately Lucian gets blown up, and I know that this is a losing team fight. So I'm pinging my enemies, pinging my allies to run away. So there we have to kind of kill Graves, hopefully, but we do not. His lifesteal is too much, we don't do enough damage, and here I'm just trying to kite the enemies away so that they can chase me and not go towards my Nexus. So there we get the Heart Steel proc onto Lux, and I think the enemies are like, we're gonna kill Mini Seeker now, but they do not. And I keep managing to run away with my snowball as well, and LeBlanc's Q finishes me off. And I think here the enemies are at a base, wasn't able to stall them long enough. All of our allies are dead and they take down our Nexus. But definitely you can see how strong Tank AP Fizz is. Hope you enjoyed watching and see you guys next time.